Obviously knew that he was a fugitive, that he was hiding out from the police.
Police in Laurel County had been looking for a fugitive for weeks. They finally found him early this morning. Why 2 others were also taken to jail.
Hate to go through it again. It's just devastating.
A fire guts a Madison County home for the second time in 10 years.
And a bill protecting dating violence victims is winning over lawmakers. What this bill would mean for victims.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening to you. Police say they were letting a fugitive stay with them. Officers have arrested 2 Laurel County parents after they found a man they were looking for in their house.
And what's more troubling is that police say the couple's 5-year-old daughter was in the same house as the wanted man and some illegal drug use. Phil Pendleton is in Laurel County tracking the developments of the disturbing story in our top story at 5:30.
Well, this all went down on Sid Harville Road about midnight, very early this morning. Police tell us they had been looking for 39-year-old Michael Bruner, but a total of 3 people were taken to jail after police say they found illegal drug use and the fugitive all in the same house.
He knew that we had those warrants on him.
Bruner was wanted on drug charges and parole violation, but when a deputy recently tried to stop him, police say he took off.
Speeds in excess of 100 miles an hour. He shot through a business parking lot in a very reckless fashion. We chased him for over 12 miles and lost him in the western end of Laurel County.
Police turned to social media in hopes of finding him, and early this morning a tip led them to Sid Harville Road. Inside the home, they say they found Bruner. Police say Jacob and Julie Grove invited the wanted man in, where there was also evidence of illegal drug use, all in the presence of a child.
The couple's 5-year-old child was present, and here they are harboring a fugitive wanted on felony charges.
Bruner was arrested on numerous charges, and the Groves were also taken to jail.
Because they obviously knew that he was a fugitive, that he was hiding out from the police because this was not his normal residence.
Police say that digital scales, a glass pipe used to smoke meth, as well as drug residue inside a plastic baggie were taken from the house. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
All 3 suspects are in the Laurel County Jail. We called to see if Jacob and Julie Grove wanted to tell their side of the story, but they declined.
We are learning some new information tonight about the rescue of a teenager who fell off a cliff in Pulaski County. The 15-year-old fell more than 100 feet down a cliff near Lake Cumberland while hunting on Sunday. 911 dispatch tapes are telling us more about the incident that happened in a remote place off Tateville Antioch Road. Jeremy Garland says he was hunting with a boy when he fell, and then he says he climbed down to him and called for help.
Well, he tried to get over the hill to his dogs. And he slipped and fell, and he fell down 4 or 5 different drops. He's got lacerations. He's got broken legs. I don't know how many bones he's got broken, but I'm trying to keep him awake right now. Wake up,
Garland says the teen is expected to be released from the University of Tennessee Hospital later this week. They say a laptop charger is to blame. Firefighters say the faulty charger overheated and sparked a fire that damaged a Madison County home this morning. No one was injured, but the inside of the home is charred. Sam Smith talked to the homeowners, who say this isn't the first time they've been through a fire.
From the outside, it may not look like a lot of damage was done to this home, but if you take a look inside, you can tell this home was on fire.
Looked like the living room. It was hardwood all charred.
Fire officials think this faulty laptop charger started the fire, and these recliners and couches were first to ignite. Irby Powell says this is the second time in 10 years they've had a fire at this home.
Hate to go through it again. It's just devastating. Throwed everything we had away in 05, and look like here we go again.
Powell's wife was home asleep at the time of the fire. Fortunately, the smoke detectors woke her up. She says she jumped through the bedroom window because the smoke was so bad inside she had no choice. She's okay though.
I mean, if I got my family and their health, I mean, all this other stuff is, don't mean anything to me.
Powell, his wife, and their kids can't stay in their home right now. The plan is to stay with family for now while they figure out what to do next.
The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
In Madison County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Well, while the inside was damaged, no structural damage was done to the home. Madison County and Red Lick Fire Departments both responded to that fire.
Troopers say an argument between a husband and wife led to a man's death. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Perry County. State police say the wife, Novaline Miller, called dispatchers saying that she and her husband, 59-year-old Eddie Miller, got into a fight and Eddie pulled out a gun. Troopers say the couple fought over the gun and Novaline shot her husband. No charges have been filed at this time, but the shooting is still under investigation. In Whitley County, state police are investigating a principal who is on paid administrative leave. Troopers say they're investigating Whitley County High School principal Alan Sweet for allegations involving a juvenile. The County Board of Education says an internal investigation is also underway into Sweet. Sweet has been principal at the high school since 2009. In Powell County, an elected official who was charged with DUI pled guilty to a lesser charge. County Clerk Rhonda Barnett pled guilty to reckless driving this morning. In July, police arrested her following a minor crash near the courthouse. Barnett's attorney tells us her toxicology test showed that there was no alcohol in her system, and any medicine found in her system was within the limits of what her doctor prescribed her.
Well, Mother Nature can't seem to make up her mind. We are tracking some mild temperatures followed by snow, and all of it coming in a 24-hour period.
It's keeping this man busy. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Chris?
We like to call it job security around here, folks, and dealing with a lot of cold weather out there this afternoon, a lot of clouds, and then tomorrow's a little milder. Boy, it has a very short window that we are talking about. A little look outside Richmond, Cam, I-75 northbound out of Madison County, clouds. How about Corbin into southern Kentucky? Good folks here along Interstate 75, still a little touch of some light snow along the roadways. What we're seeing on Live First Alert Defender right now, temperatures into the low 30s where we are getting in on some cloud cover, 40 plus out to the west where the clouds are beginning to break. That clearing line is slowly but surely working its way on in from northwest to southeast. That's where we have a cold front that is on the move as well. That is the front that out ahead of it will boost temperatures up a little bit as we go into the day tomorrow, and then those numbers will come crashing down behind that by the time we hit Thursday as Arctic air ushers in a period of some snow showers and squalls. Guys, that'll be the first of 3 Arctic fronts that I have showing up over the next week and change. And yes, you get Arctic fronts in here, that means snow chances return to your 7-day forecast when I come back in a matter of minutes.
A bill protecting dating violence victims is gaining momentum on both sides of the aisle in the state legislature.
The legislation is aimed at extending emergency protective orders to people whose dating relationships turn violent. Republican Senate President Robert Stiver says that the House bill dealing with the issue may be tweaked by the Senate, but he believes there is a high likelihood lawmakers will reach an agreement.
We are going to be able to celebrate. We're going to celebrate Governor and First Lady Brashear, Senate and House leadership, every state senator and representative, members of the judiciary, and community leaders who have helped bring the voice to the unprotected and create a path towards safety for future generations.
The bill would create a system of civil protections for victims of domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, and stalking. A House committee is once again pushing to give nearly 250,000 Kentuckians the right to vote. House Bill 70 would allow some convicted felons to regain their voting rights automatically when they finish their sentence without having to petition the governor. But those convicted of crimes involving treason, murder, sexual offenses, or bribery in an election would not be eligible.
I didn't know that by making a mistake and committing a crime, and surely I should have been punished for the crime that I committed, and I did that. But then they released me and put me on a lifelong sentence of not being fully reintegrated into this community.
In the past 8 legislative sessions, the Kentucky House voted to pass the bill, but each time it has died in the Senate.
The phone rings, and it's someone on the other end saying they represent the police. They're asking for a donation from you. Our good question today, how do you know if the person calling for police is on the up and up? Kentucky State Police say they have reports now of people receiving calls from someone who says they are with the KSP or another police professional fundraiser. The caller wants donations like credit or bank card information for officers who have died in the line of duty. Well, state police do not make phone calls asking for money. This is probably, they say, a Skype account from overseas, so hang up. If you do want to check if a charitable organization is legit, you can do that by contacting the Attorney General's office. By law, every charitable group must be registered with the state AG's office. So that number is 502-696-5300. Again, that's 502-696-5300. If you have
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Kentucky will soon keep track of students who drop out to pick up homeschooling instead.
And Governor Beshear is hoping his successor is from his Democratic Party. Bill Bryant has the details in the bottom line.
Good evening. The Lexington-Fayette Urban County Council is going to take a close look at its own ethics rules and consider revisions going forward. The rules have not been redone since the early 1990s. Among the items a task force is looking at is tightening up conflict of interest provisions. Another potential change would make lobbying the city more transparent. The state will soon be keeping track of high school students who withdraw and say they're going to be homeschooled. Education Commissioner Terry Holliday says on his blog that about 5,000 students a year withdraw to attend homeschool. He told the Herald Leader that he has no problem with parents who think homeschooling is appropriate for their children, but Holliday says he wants to know if there are cases of students leaving public schools and simply dropping out. The Kentucky Democratic Party is trying to put a unified front forward while Republicans face a four-way gubernatorial primary. Governor Steve Beshear, who has a high approval rating after more than 7 years in office, attended a Democratic Unity event and signaled that he will be aggressively involved in the campaign to come.
There hasn't been an election year in my memory that means more to the future of this state than this year.
Of course, Republicans are eager to build on their momentum from Senator Mitch McConnell's landslide re-election last fall. After the primary, McConnell is expected to extensively advise his party's nominees about how to win. Kentucky taxpayers would take out the biggest loan in state history under a bill passed by the House Budget Committee today. It would be a $3.3 billion fix for the struggling Kentucky teachers' retirement system. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
It is graduation day for a group of students at Newton's Attic on Old Versailles Road here in Lexington.
This group of students built their own drones, in this case quadcopters. Not only are students learning to build their own quadcopters over the 6-week program, but they're learning to pilot them as well.
It's really nice to be able to learn things, like just to be able to find something that you are interested in, to go seek it out yourself, and then to find just an abundance of like knowledge and activities and things like that.
The 6-week class costs $285 to sign up, but students get to take their own quadcopter home as well. What a deal. Now, some good news to pass along tonight. One of the dogs rescued from a home in western Kentucky has been adopted. Nina was one of 54 dogs found living among trash in an Ohio County home. 8 of those dogs were brought to the Lexington Humane Society. And of those 8, 2 of the dogs were treated for heartworm.
Now.